Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's morning musings is Benevolent Universe. I'm doing daily morning musings, and I'm using posts from my blog, Adventures in Density and Effort, as inspiration. I wrote these a while ago, and the world has completely changed since then. So if I encounter anything that feels out of date, I will interrupt myself as I'm reading, and I will give you the most recent information. At the end, if necessary, I will do a summary of the topic based on what's going on in the world today. And I also have some special offers, so stay tuned to the end to see what they are. Benevolent universe. It's hard to believe it's a benevolent universe if you look at the news. How could God, source, spirit, consciousness create a world with violence and hate? How could anyone feel safe when there's so much to fear? And yet, when I've had these moments or months of truly being aligned and connected, it's been a Niagara Falls of love. At those times, I felt in love with God, in love with my life, and in love with myself. Even though my outer circumstances hadn't changed, I still had the same problems. I knew that everything was going to be okay. Regardless of the external dramas, I was always able to come back to center. After many years of spiritual work, I was able to uncover the origin of my feeling that the universe wasn't on my side. I grew up in a devoutly Christian family. We went to church every Sunday and said grace at meals. We were told God was a God of love. Yet the environment in our home wasn't always loving, and my father's job involved life and death situations. So there was an unconscious atmosphere of being on high alert at all times. It doesn't feel like a benevolent universe if someone could kill you at any moment. But in my time of direct connection, I can feel the greater perspective is one of love. When I view my environment through the lenses of the regular world, I can see the injustice and abuse and global warming. It feels unsafe and dangerous. And yet when I'm connected to my inner divinity, I have a very different perspective. It's like a parent watching children on the playground. They're inventing games to play, some of which have very dramatic storylines and produce very intense feelings. Divinity is holding a loving space for these games and yet isn't moved to intervene because none of it is real. Reality is what is unseen. What we see is our made-up story. As I walk through the games on this playground, all I have to do is consciously keep my focus on the truth. Events can happen, but I don't have to get swept up in the drama. When you realize that we're all already connected as essence, even estrangement and death don't have any significance. When you realize that you, at your core, are essence, so you are the one that manifested all of this, you can be overwhelmed with appreciation. As consciousness, there's no poverty or lack because it's all a never-ending creation. You stand in the flow of this abundant energy, and fear and concern in the economy dissolve. Baby steps are what's needed to get to this space. You can find free videos of things on YouTube to help you get started as well. Anytime you get swept up in the headlines, take a step back. Imagine seeing the situation from outside of time and space, and that takes the charge out of it. Anytime you feel swayed by interactions with family, friends, or co-workers, emotionally detach. Imagine stepping off stage or having a commercial break. See others as cast members who are, at their essence, divinity as well. And notice how that shifts your perspective. Notice the dialogue in between your ears, the imaginary conversations that you have in your head as you drive down the road. Notice the interview that you're giving Oprah at 4 a.m. lying awake in your bed. Stop telling those stories to yourself. Start reminding yourself what amazing reality this is. Consciously appreciate the wonderful world and the imaginative scriptwriter and director that you are to have created it. You'll quickly find that it is a benevolent universe, lovingly created by you, your expanded self. Doing this a little bit every day can have a dramatic effect. When I started doing this 6 years ago, it lifted me out of a depression that I had been in for years and had not been aware of it. It can redirect your life in positive ways. So try this for the next 7 days and see what happens. Leave me a note in the comments below. I love reading your comments. And I think my expanded perspective of this is that when I am operating as consciousness and when I am making choices to navigate my life as consciousness, that is when I do start getting this inner sense of well-being and inner knowingness that it is all a benevolent universe. But it took me a long time to get there, and it was really quite earth-shaking when it happened. The great thing is that we are all collectively evolving as consciousness, and so change happens a lot more rapidly now, and you can achieve the same experiences without the same amount of effort that it took me to get there. So if you like these videos, please give them a thumbs up and like them. And you can also click the bell icon to subscribe. And doing that tells YouTube to share this with more people and get this information out there to someone who really needs it. And you can also share it on your own social media. And if you'd like to have a free sample of one of my consciousness techniques, click on the link below to the skybox technique and you'll get an expanded experience of your life. and give you a deeper perspective of what's going on. I also have a self-study course, Manifesting Money and Miracles, which is a great introduction to shifting your energy within to create a completely different reality. And if you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. I do individual sessions where I take a look at the essence of who you are and what's going on in your life today. I can answer any questions that you might have, whether it's about relationships, about money, about your spiritual growth. I can talk to dead people. I can tell you what's coming up in the future. And I record the session just for you. And if you want to learn how to do this for yourself, the self-study course is a great start. And I also have a coaching special where I work with you one-on-one and give you specially chosen consciousness techniques so that you can transform your life. So go to my website, joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you tomorrow in another Morning Musings.